Welcome to a new episode of Timeline Stories. Now, I know I haven't done that since May, which is surprising because I haven't done any stories like this in a long time. The last story we talked about was when I started YouTube, and it's been since then since I continued those stories. Now, the timeline I want to give you today is when I started the, so have you guys seen the videos of me playing with the pull-string helicopter discs toys? Now, the first time I played with those were about 2 years ago when I got one during Easter, and I was figuring out how the heck those things work. Now, you see, back then I got one on Easter, and I thought it was pretty interesting, so I started playing with them. And I started figuring them out how the heck they work. Now, again, since I had no clue how the heck these things work, I had to try to figure out how they work. So, what I did is just mess with it. Now, during the past few months after 2 years ago, I started playing with those things and started getting those like toys. And we play with those things now. And I started shooting them in the family room, and it would hit all kinds of things in the house, like the tree, the candle, everything. Now, in 2016, we started shooting a lot more of those things. We used to shoot them. Well, we do, but we shoot them we shot them everywhere. And my cousin put it on YouTube and everything. Now, how this works is you saw my videos of me playing with those. It has to be like with a handle, and you put them in a hole and you fling them up, and that's how it works. If you've seen them on my videos before, where that happens, so you know exactly how that works. If you've seen videos of me messing with it. I'm sure a lot of you have. And also I started playing with them. And also there's also a big part of the helicopter toy. There's a small part to it and a big part. The big one is quite dangerous, as you guys seen in most of my videos. But last year and the year before, I played with it. Although, too bad I wasn't on YouTube the year before, because I would have done it. But, also, those things are so friggin' cheap that sometimes they break and we have to get another one. Because these things break so easily, especially if you hit a lot of stuff in the house, or if you do it in the house. Some of you might notice how they break so easily. I know they break so easily, you don't even know what the heck. I mean, dang. Talk about breaking stuff, that's just a bunch of bang, bang, bang. So, yeah. That thing just goes crazy. And then we got Papa mad because I'm doing it in the house and everything. Also, last year I know I played with it a bunch of times. I made a lot of videos about it. It was crazy with the stuff I did. It also, one time when I played with it, it also broke some leaves and knocked some leaves down off the tree in the house, and that was crazy. And also, you've seen the videos where I've done it in the basement. The reason for that is because the family room has been painted, and no one wants to mess it up, so you go down in the basement and do it. So, and speaking of the basement, one time, last week, for those of you who didn't, see, last week I made a video where I did the pull-string helicopter, and it was called, I think it was the flying, us playing the pull string helicopter thing. And one time last week, while we weren't recording at the time, but when we wasn't recording, one time it hit the ceiling, and put a very big 2-inch patch on there, which I'll show you at the end of the video because I have a picture of it. It was 1 by 2-inch patch at the thing. I shot that thing so hard, it hit the ceiling so hard, and it put like a 1-inch, 2-inch patch on the ceiling. It was crazy. And I didn't know, like, what the heck is that? So, I know, it was a mess. So, also back then, me and my dad, we would play with the helicopter toy. And I have some audio footage of it, which I'll put in the description of the links. A link to an audio recording that I uploaded to MediaFire. I'll upload that, and I'll put the link in the description of an audio recording that I took while me and Dad were playing with it. The link will be in the description to it. Anyway, but we played with the toys and we'd laugh at it. Also, for those of you who remember the video, playing with the pull string helicopter outside video, which was probably about in August last year. That was also a mess. We shot that outside, and that's when the guys were painting the house. And that's when we couldn't do it in the family room because Cheryl and Williams were painting the walls and everything, because of all the things that hit so much. It said I had to paint the whole wall. And it was a mess. So, I know it was a mess. Yeah. And it's been comical doing those things sometimes. Also, speaking of that video, one time one part of the video when I wasn't recording at the time, I shot the small part of the helicopter thing and went on the very top of the gutter. I think it's still up on top of it. Too bad I didn't get that one on video because it wasn't recording. But that would have been funny. That would have been hilarious though. But I think it's still on top of the gutter, so we have to go and get it. So, looks like that one's got to stay there forever. I bet that thing's cracked because it's so cold. Especially since it's been in the gutter since August. I mean, several months it's been on the gutter. It's been on there since August, and it's now January. So that's crazy. So yeah, it's just a mess. And yeah, it's all a mess, so it was quite crazy. And also, also another time, and also there's a time where I did it in the basement, also. Oh yeah, and speaking of that, for those of you before Christmas Eve came, I did a video where I played with it in the basement and it hit the light and everything. That's because I shot it so hard. And you know what's interesting about those toys is that those toys are so big and they'll hit everything. Now, also, one time I did the random live stream video in November when I had my cousins over and we were playing with it and all kinds of stuff. It was crazy. And remember that one part of the stream where it broke the clock? About it just bent the clock? That was a mess. That was just crazy. But yeah. Yeah, it was quite comical to see that, I think, because it was quite funny if you guys saw it. Some of you might be like, what the heck, how is that funny? But you know, shut up, Alex. Anyway. But it's quite funny what happened, and so yeah. So I think it was quite funny, and it was pretty much the coolest story ever so far, because what it did to the thing. So. yeah, it was quite comical. And also, it would probably go way up in the sky. Oh yeah, and also one time, I would do it did the helicopter in the pool last year, in the swimming pool. And I'd play it in the swimming pool and see what happens. It would land in the water and everything. And oh yeah, speaking of me doing it in the pool, one time my grandma did the video where I did it in slow motion. If you guys remember that video, it was quite interesting because it was slow motion this time instead of fast. I mean, it was quite different because it was, it was all slow and all. It's pretty like it's slow flying up in the air and then slowly coming back down like. So, yeah, it was quite funny. Well, quite interesting. And yeah, that was what my story was behind the pull string helicopter. Not to mention that thing destroyed everything. I mean, that thing destroyed like it knocked. If you remember seeing all the videos I've made with it, it hit the fan, hit the candle. Well, not on the video, but knocked the tree, hit the tree. It hit everything. I mean, that's just a mess. I mean, that was. It was a mess. So, yeah. Yeah, I'm gonna tell you that right now. That was just a crazy time. So, yeah, not to mention that it just went as crazy as it could be, like, and then we had to try to chase it. Oh yeah, not to mention I would also aim it upstairs, so I'd be downstairs and it would be going upstairs. So, so yeah. So anyway, that'll be it for the timeline story video. I hope you enjoyed it. I know it's been like forever since I've done these because I haven't had a daggone clue on what the next. I haven't had a clue what the next timeline story should be about because I haven't thought of anything besides the YouTube story. So yeah, and I'll show you the picture that it hit the paint. And also, don't forget to look in the description for a link to where me and Dad played it. It's an audio recording that I uploaded to Mediafire, so click that and download it if you want to listen to the whole thing. So that'll be it for this whole show, and I hope you enjoyed it. And I will see you guys in the next video. Goodbye.